Over the last 50 years, the first quarterback taken has failed to be the best quarterback in his draft 56% of the time.
With the second pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears select Mitchell Trubisky. The Kansas City Chiefs select Patrick Mahomes, the second quarterback.
Bro, I watch film, but I ain't the type going there and watch 5 hours of film. I ain't never been that type of player. I go out there and play football, bro. Make plays, bro.
Carr pressured, down and thrown down. Sacked again.
Carr in the pocket. Good night. Deep drop for Carr. And guess what? Another sack.
With the first pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans select Cameron Ward, quarterback, Miami.
The Athletic had a great article asking the question, is the first quarterback picked usually the best? They determined that, quote, over the past 25 years, the first quarterback drafted has become the best pro from that draft 40% of the time. What they didn't break down is why these first quarterbacks drafted fail. So I looked at not just the past 25 years, but the past 50 years and found 3 reasons why. 1, self-performance. Some dudes just didn't live up to the billing, either poor preparation, immaturity and ego, or lack of development. 2, other guys just being better. Sometimes the pick wasn't bad, there was just a different dude in the class that was better. And 3, team failure. Even talented quarterbacks can fail when the team around them collapses. Nearly half the misses over the past 25 years were because the quarterback himself wasn't ready. 2001, Michael Vick. Reports are that he didn't really watch film, and obviously he got in trouble with the law.
We used to get the DVDs back in the day.
Ever watch those DVDs in Atlanta?
DVDs pile up in my car, Jim.
There's going to be a portion of people that push back on me putting Michael Vick into this category, but when you look back at the totality of his career, man, there's a lot of meat left on the bone there. 2006, Vince Young.
Young suffered a knee injury in the Titans season opener. Some reports indicated that Young was actually healthy enough to re-enter the game, but refused to because Tennessee fans booed him after throwing a second interception.
If you believe the reports, he missed team meetings, he postponed an MRI on his knees, he even had the team calling the cops on him after a game. The very next year, 2007, JaMarcus Russell. There's a story from a former teammate that said, quote, coaches didn't think JaMarcus Russell was studying tape, so they gave him blank cassettes. Next day, he said he watched the blitz packages, the tapes were blank.
They talk about a film thing once. Bro, I watch film, but I ain't the type going there and watch 5 hours of film. I ain't never been that type of player. I go out there and play football, bro. Make plays, bro.
This gives me so much anxiety as a former quarterback. I can't even imagine operating, let alone a game, but even practice without studying. I guess that's why JaMarcus Russell was better than me. There's also guys like Trubisky and Bortles, and yes, there were other guys in the class that were better, but they also never developed themselves. Next section, the other dude was just better. Unlike Trubisky or Bortles, these dudes had good careers, but others were just better. 2000, Chad Pennington led the NFL in completion percentage twice, took the Jets to multiple playoff runs, but guy by the name of Tom Brady, pick 199, became the greatest player of all time. Then in 2004, Eli Manning, 2-time Super Bowl MVP, played 16 seasons, iconic playoff runs and wins over Brady, but Ben Roethlisberger was more consistent, had better regular season stats, and won more games. 2005, Alex Smith, solid starter, multiple playoff bursts, great comeback story after the injury, but Aaron Rodgers, pick 24, won 4 MVPs and became one of the most talented quarterbacks ever. The next and final section, team failure. Even great quarterbacks can't survive a broken system. 2002, David Carr, sacked 76 times as a rookie, still an NFL record. He got on an expansion team with 0 offensive line investment or offensive identity. The dude took 249 sacks in 5 seasons. 2012, Andrew Luck. He took over 160 hits before the age of 30. Constant punishment behind weak protection. Led the NFL in touchdowns in 2014, but retired at 29 from injuries. The Colts failed to invest in offensive line early and then cycle through multiple schemes and coaches. And then 2023, Bryce Young. I almost didn't put him in here because it is early, but he's here. He played behind a bottom 5 offensive line with no receiver 1 and no run game. The team traded away DJ Moore and fired Frank Reich mid-season. Compared to Stroud's setup in Houston, Carolina's setup gave him no shot at success. Again, I'm not making a hard declaration on this one. Give me 2 more seasons and we'll circle back. 56% of the time over the past 50 years, the first quarterback taken in their class was not the best QB in the class. Between Between 1983 and 1998, the run from Elway to Peyton Manning, the hit rate on first quarterbacks taken in their draft was 60%. Since 1999, the success rate has fallen below 40%. The last 8 NFL MVPs, 0 were the first quarterback taken in their draft. The last 5 Super Bowl winners, only 1 of the 5 were the first quarterback taken, and it was Stafford, and he won the ring with the team that didn't take him. Last time a first drafted quarterback won a Super Bowl with the team that took him, 2012, Eli Manning. But don't take it from me. Take it from a former #1 pick himself.
When I was the first pick, I went into a locker room of losers. Guys didn't know how to win. Guys didn't know how to prepare. It was a culture shock for me. You're the top pick because that was the worst team in the NFL the year before.
Scouting is also harder than ever. In the last 25 years, the first quarterback drafted was the best only 40% of the time. In the past 12 years, only 3 first quarterbacks are clearly the best in their class: Burrow, Lawrence, and maybe Murray. That's a 25% hit rate and dropping. The first QB curse is real. High expectations, dysfunctional teams, and little patience. Guys like David Carr, Andrew Luck, and Bryce Young prove that even talented quarterbacks get wrecked by the wrong situation. When you're not the first QB taken, you get more time to develop. Mahomes sat for a year, Lamar and Hurts were backups, Brady was a 4-string. These QBs weren't forced to save a franchise overnight, and that stability paid off. The immense amount of pressure to get it right at #1 leads to mistakes. Teams convince themselves on traits rather than trusting production, development, and fit. That's how we get a situation like Mitch Trubisky over Mahomes or Lamar Jackson sliding. Yeah, so being the first quarterback drafted can be a dream, but if we look at history, oftentimes it's more of a burden than it is a blessing. We've seen great players get thrown into bad situations. We've seen good picks get outshined. And we've seen pressure, expectations, and chaos derail careers before they even get started. That's why I don't say any of this to root against Cam Ward. I hope he breaks the trend. I hope he's one of the exceptions. But if he's not, well, now you know why. Hey, if you watched this far, I appreciate it. If you can throw this video a like, share it with someone who you think might enjoy it, and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you on the next vid.